Dear brothers and sisters, this week, or maybe a bit earlier, I can't say for sure, but on the internet, it was indicated that it was this week till the 2nd of February, we are celebrating the prayer week, the annual prayer week for unity. Such a prayer for more unity amongst all Christians is certainly not a luxury, because I'm sure we all can agree that we Christians are still far removed from the unity Jesus had in mind. So prayer is something we should not forget to do for this intention. However, besides praying, we may wonder, what else should we do? Well, lots of things have already been said about this subject in the past, but let me repeat here a few general points. Points which are obvious, actually. There is, in the first place, for instance, the need for a greater love amongst us. How much do we Christians really love one another? I'm not lying awake in my bed for the fact that so many people do not belong to the Catholic Church and are still Christians. How much do we love one another, actually? As the Second Vatican Council puts it somewhere in one of its documents, there can be no ecumenism worthy of the name without a change of heart. For it is from self-denial and unstinted love that our hearts are opened for people of different opinion. I always remember with a certain pride the story of my grandmother. She lived in a village almost entirely consisting of Protestants, or Protestants, as she said here. But she was such a generous and kind-hearted woman that in spite of her Catholic religion, she managed to win the love and respect of everybody. When children were born, she was often asked to help in the delivery. And if the Protestant pastor was not available, then in case of emergency, it happened occasionally that it was she who was called to administer baptism. When she got sick, many people, Protestants included, fervently prayed for her recovery. The Protestant doctor as well. And when she died, the church was full. Not only with Catholics, but I'm sure also with Protestants. Kindness generates kindness. And so it is one of the best ways to restore a broken unity. In the second place, truth. Let us always try to be fair and truthful in our appreciation of the Protestants. In the past, there was the strong tendency to think that everything in our Roman Catholic community was perfect, but everything on the other side was bad. This is, of course, a very, very unrealistic nonsense. Of course, on the other side, he had the same mentality. Let us never be so prejudiced that we do not want to see the good points in other Christians for the mere reason that they do not belong to our club. What is true in them must be honestly admitted. What is holy must be admired. What is really Christ-like must be followed. Moreover, we should not overemphasize the issues that keep us divided. There are issues, it cannot be denied. But we have so much in common that we should continue to consider ourselves as brothers and sisters in Christ. However, imperfectly united, but still of the same stock. And so, if there is something good we can learn from each other, or if there is something on which we can work together, why not? Dear friends, for every Christian, the last and ultimate question should not be, which is the church I personally like, but which is the church that is started by Jesus. All of you believe, I hope, and so do I, that it is finally the Catholic Church and no other which may rightly claim to be established by Jesus himself. She is the one and universal church covering all nations and ages. She is the apostolic church whose essential traditions go back in an unbroken and continuous line to the earliest years of Christianity. She certainly is a church of sinners, and as such she will continually be hampered by human imperfections. But she is also the Holy Church, in which the power of God's Spirit has always been at work, keeping her leaders, at least in their official teachings, from going astray, and sanctifying the lives of millions of people. To belong to this church can make us glad, but it should not make us proud and complacent. It rather should fill us with a feeling of responsibility. Have I done enough, we should wonder? Have I spent enough trouble and time to understand my own religion to the best of my ability? Can I stand up for it? Can I pass it on to people of different opinion in a way that is not too bad? And what is even more important, do I live my faith? For, dear friends, as we very well know, the point that matters most in the eyes of non-Catholics is usually not what we Catholics say or what we Catholics think, but first and foremost it is what we Catholics do.